faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend her unity, and uphold her honor and glory. So help me God. Let's be seated, please. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency Kashim Shettima, GCON. Please, the cameraman, let us have one room, please. Thank you. Your Excellency, the host governor, that has given Enugu State a new look, rebranded, and development is in almost 180 days has changed the landscape of the state. His Excellency Dr. Peter Mba, I welcome you. Let me welcome here His Excellency the Governor of Imo State, Chairman of the Southeast Governors Forum, Chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum. I'd like to welcome His Excellency Governor Hope Uzodinma. I welcome you, sir. Also here with us is the Governor of Anambra State, former Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, again changing the landscape of development in Anambra State. I understand in all the 36 states of the Federation, Anambra State is one that is doing free education from primary to GSS 3. Professor Soludo, Charles Chukuma Soludo is here with us. Prof, I welcome you. That means in a few years from now, we'll have a whole lot of children who are also professors. Thank you very much. Let me also welcome His Excellency, the Governor of Ebonyi State. Your Excellency, your dance step on your Thanksgiving Day, I'll come and copy it. Congratulations to you, the Governor of Ebonyi State, Right Honorable Francis Winfrey. I'd like to welcome here the former President of the Senate, who's here with us. I'd like to welcome His Excellency Pius Ayem, GCON. Your Excellency, I welcome you. Thank you very much. Let me welcome all the members of the National Assembly here present. Let me particularly welcome Distinguished Senator Ositango, who is not only representing the Senate Committee Chairman on Power, he's also the Minority Whip of the Senate. I welcome you, Distinguished Senator.
From this state. I'm from this state.
Okay. He's telling me that he's from this state, my co-anchor. I'd like to welcome all other members of the National Assembly that are here from the House of Representatives. Let me welcome the former Governor of Imo State, Owile Ruchas Okorocha, who is also here with us. I welcome you. I'd like to welcome very specially the Honorable Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu. I welcome you, Honorable Prime Minister. Thank you very much. The Managing Director of the Niger Delta Power Holding Company, Mr. Chiedu Ogbu, is also here with us. I welcome you. Let me particularly welcome all the executive directors of the Power Holding Company. Ifeoluwa Oyedele, Executive Director of Networks, I welcome you. Babayo Shehu, Executive Director of Finance and Accounts, I welcome you. Mrs. Nkechimba, Executive Director of Corporate Services, I welcome you. Engineer Kashim Abdullahi, Executive Director of Generation, is here with us, I welcome you. Dr. Stephen Ansenge, MON, Executive Director of Legal Services, I welcome you. We'll continue to do the recognitions. I also recognize and welcome Distinguished Senator Uche Kunife, the Director General of the Southeast Governors Forum, who is here with us. Distinguished Senator Osita Ezenazor, Chairman Senate Committee on Capital Markets. I also welcome you. And let me welcome Distinguished Senator Ifeanyi Uba, who is also here with us. But as an elder statesman here, who has contributed so much from the private sector, the chairman of EEDC, Sir Emeka Ofo, is also here with us. I welcome you. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we'll continue the recognitions, but let me welcome all of you to Enugu. Let me welcome all of you to the Southeast. The Southeast, home to 22 million people, covering 5 states. Although there is party diversity, 4 parties, but they are still linked by a common ancestry, common purpose, and mutual aspiration. So as I welcome you to this business roundtable that is focused on lighting up Nigeria, what runs in my mind is that today, even as you look out, the morning sun rises over Southeast with a whisper of hope. With this project, a new day dawns, washing away yesterday's sorrows. Like birds, the Southeast is ready to soar, embracing the rhythm and the melody that serenades us with eternal songs of brightness and power. So welcome to the world of the Niger Delta Power Company that brings light to Nigeria. And at this event, the light is designed to leverage on this generation of power to deliver to the people. I welcome all of you. My name is Ebere Young, and the very handsome man beside me here is the Honorable Commissioner of Information right here, and you'll be co-anchor. His name is Aka. Please.
Thank you very much. The Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and then the Chairman, Board of Directors, Niger Delta Power Holding Company Limited. I welcome you to the Southeast. Thank you very much for finding time to be here with us. We're grateful, and you look every inch an able man, and we are glad to have you. My people, it would be nice to say that his name will be christened Shettima Uche. I think it will be better to ask him, as his name is Uche right now, because it's God's design. Please welcome once again. Well, we will be moving at a very supersonic speed in order to cover all the things that we have. And I welcome the MP now. It is my pleasure, therefore, to go into this event and therefore request, thank you, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Niger Delta Power Holding Company, Mr. Chiedu Ugbo, to please come forward to make the opening remarks and set the stage for this program today. Please, a round of applause to encourage him all together. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Chairman of the Board of Directors, Niger Delta Power Holding Company Limited, Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, Your Excellencies, the Governor of Imo State and the Chairman, Southeast Governors Forum, Senator Hope Uzodinma, our Chief Host, Dr. Peter Amba, the Governor of Enugu State, Your Excellency, the Governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, Your Excellency, the Governor of Ebonyi State, Right Honorable Nwefuru, distinguished senators here present, the Honorable Minister, kindly permit me to stand on the already established protocol. On behalf of Niger Delta Power Holding Company Limited, I would like to extend a warm welcome to Your Excellencies and distinguished guests to this very important event. This event provides an opportunity for the business community in the Southeast zone to interact with His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and also marks the formal launch of the Southeast phase of our strategic collaboration with our project partners to provide steady and reliable electricity supply to industrial and business clusters across the country. We are honored to have you all here today. This event is part of a series of initiatives led by His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who serves as the Chairman of Niger Delta Power Holding Company Limited. These initiatives demonstrate the commitment and determination of President Tinubu's administration working through our company, Niger Delta Power Holding Company, to provide reliable and sustainable solutions to the electricity challenge in the country, starting with reliable and affordable supply to industries. The first event in this series took place on October 12, 2023 in Agbara, Ogun State, Southwest Nigeria, where His Excellency engaged with the business community and committed to providing the required electricity to power businesses in the industrial areas across the country through our company. Since then, significant progress has been made on the Agbara project, including identifying and signing on key industrial customers, conducting engineering surveys, negotiating transaction agreements, and procuring the OEM EPC providers for the required transmission and distribution projects. Additionally, NDPAC has worked very closely with the Transmission Company of Nigeria and the federal government, FGM Power Company, to conduct engineering surveys, identify sites, and acquire a mobile transmission substation for the project. The Transmission Company of Nigeria has since approved the connection of the new substation to the national grid, and efforts are underway to deploy the fast-track transmission substation in Agbara. Today's event builds on the commitment made by His Excellency at the Agbara roundtable and will be replicated in other geopolitical zones across the country. From here, we are moving directly to northwest zone of the country. The Light Up Nigeria project, which is the focus of today's event, is led by, of course, as I mentioned, Niger Delta Power Holding Company. And as you know, Niger Delta Power Holding Company is a government-owned company and is responsible for implementing the National Integrated Power Project, and we operate a portfolio of gas thermal electricity generation assets in Nigeria. However, the optimal utilization of these assets has been hindered by some technical challenges and, of course, market constraints, electricity market constraints. One major challenge is the lack of sufficient transmission and distribution infrastructure to transport generated power from the power plants. To underscore this point, just last Friday, with due respect to Honorable Minister of Power, just last Friday, we received the Honorable Minister of Power at our 500 megawatt Benin Ihogo power plant. This power plant shares the transmission facilities with the private sector power plant, Zoredo power plant, next door, with over 460 megawatts. The two plants together can generate over 900 megawatts. The Honorable Minister witnessed firsthand the level of underutilization of the NDPAC generation plant as a result of transmission constraint. However, the Transmission Company of Nigeria is now working assiduously towards resolving that constraint in that power plant. Another challenge stems from financial difficulties in the electric power sector here in Nigeria, leading to inadequate payments by distribution companies and the Nigerian Bulk Electricity Trading Company to generation companies like NDPAC. The huge indebtedness to the generation companies affects the ability of the companies to pay for gas supply, again leading to gas supply shortage and the resulting low generation. On 31st January 2024, the Honorable Minister of Power visited our Olonshogo power plant near Papalanto in Ogun State and Omotosho power plant near Ore in Ondo State. Both power plants were visited in the same day. In fact, we had like an 8-hour trip on the road. And the Honorable Minister saw firsthand the extent of gas supply constraint to the two power plants, which put together would have generated over 1,000 megawatts. At a recent press conference, the Honorable Minister of Power rightly identified the severe liquidity crisis as a major impediment to electricity supply in the country, with over 1.3 trillion owed to generation companies. NDPSC alone is owed close to 200 billion out of that. These challenges of lack of sufficient transmission and distribution infrastructure and to transport electricity from power plants and the sector market liquidity crisis have resulted in gross underutilization of installed generation assets, with unserved potential grid electricity consumers, particularly industries, some of which are represented here today, resorting to expensive, very expensive, and often inefficient self-generation. In response to these challenges, NDPSC initiated the Light Up Nigeria project, which aims to provide reliable and affordable electricity supply to industries and homes by utilizing this underutilized generation capacity, establishing trading agreements with bulk purchasers of electricity like industries, and mobilizing the required investment to addressing the technical, commercial, and collection losses in the supply chain. Additionally, NDPSC aims to receive full payment for the electricity generated and delivered without relying on the federal government for such payments. When we get the payments, we'll be able to pay dividends to Your Excellencies, the governors, who are also the owners of this company. This project aligns with the Electricity Act 2023, graciously signed into law by His Excellency the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, which provides, the Act provides a strong framework for state governments to develop electricity markets at the subnational level with the aim of delivering consistent and affordable electricity to residents. We are here to partner with the states. Through the Light Up Nigeria project, state governments will derive the benefit of increased access to electricity, attraction of investment opportunities, revenue generation, and economic growth. At the federal level, the project will help to reduce the financial burden on the federal government's balance sheet from the debt exposure of the federal government bulk trader MBET. The project is further reinforced. This project is further reinforced by the Regulatory Commission's multi-year tariff order 2024, which mandates distribution companies to secure adequate bilateral contracts and exit from contractual relationships with the federal government bulk trader MBET. NDPSC remains at the forefront in pursuing bilateral electric power sales and other projects that ensure efficient and targeted electricity delivery to industrial end users. On behalf of the management and staff of NDPSC and the project parties, I stand here this morning to assure Your Excellencies and the Southeast business community that the Light Up Nigeria project will have the dedicated and diligent attention of the team of Niger Delta Power Holding Company and its project parties, devising very creative and bankable solutions to addressing power supply challenges to industries in this zone. We are grateful for the support, the tremendous support and leadership of His Excellency, the Vice President, as the chairman of our board. In this roadshow events, we also extend our appreciation to Your Excellencies, the governors, especially present here today, for your support to NDPSC projects in your respective states. Special thanks to the Governor of Enugu State, the chief host for this event, for providing this venue. We would also like to express our gratitude to the Enugu Electricity Distribution Company, our project partners, represented by its chairman here, Sir Emeka Ofo, We're grateful to Enerix One, Electric Utilities Limited, and our other private sector partners, professional advisors, and the Southeast business community for your presence and anticipated contribution to this roundtable. We are very excited about the collaboration and opportunities that lie ahead. Together, we can make a significant impact on the electric power sector and contribute to the growth and development of our nation. Thank you for being a part of this journey with us. Once again, welcome to this roadshow event. We hope it will be informative, engaging, and fruitful for all involved. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
God bless you too. Can we put our hands together one more time for this amazing man? What you are doing with your management team and staff is amazing. We say thank you to you. Thank you. Let me also say thank you to all the key stakeholders that are part of this. Enugu Electricity Distribution Company is here. We say thank you. Gensource Power, Enerix One, EUL, and the consumers that are here. All of you within the electricity ecosystem, we say thank you to you. Earlier, while the Managing Director and Chief Executive was addressing us, he referred to the event in Edo State in Benin. But I also took away a few lines where the Honorable Minister said, Light Up Nigeria is a project that is doable. He also said to have 24 hours power for our people going forward is also doable. He's here with us. He's the Honorable Minister of Power. Please welcome here, Chief Adebayo Adelabo.
Thank you so much. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON. Your Excellency, our host governor, the Governor of Enugu State, Your Excellencies, the Governors of Imo, Anambra, and Ebonyi, the former President of the Senate and the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator Ayim Pius Ayim, former governors here present, distinguished senators, honorable members of the House of Representatives. I can see the chairman of the House Committee on Power, the Managing Director and Executive Management of Niger Delta Power Holding Company, distinguished invited guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to be attending this event, the launching of the Southeast phase of the Light Up Nigeria project, an initiative of Niger Delta Power Holding Company Limited and its project parties to deliver reliable and quality power supply to industries one cluster at a time. I was privileged to have also attended and taken part in the pilot event at the Agbara Industrial Cluster in Ogun State on the 12th of October 2023. I was a witness to the charge by His Excellency, the Vice President of Federal Republic of Nigeria, to Niger Delta Power Holding Company and the project parties to apply diligent efforts to achieve the objectives of this project and promise the institutional support of the federal government of Nigeria. It is gratifying to see that we are here today to have this interaction with business and government in the southeast states of Nigeria and flag off the activities that will see to the resolution of the power supply challenges of industries in southeast Nigeria. The Light Up Southeast project has been structured to resolve the major challenges in the Nigerian electricity supply industry since the privatization in 2013. Number one, the lingering infrastructural constraints, especially in the transmission and distribution networks. This is an accumulated problem that has been there in the past decades, which we have not fully attended to. And we believe that for us to have stable, functional, reliable, and uninterrupted electricity, it must be dealt with, especially the evacuation of power generated by the Transmission Company of Nigeria and distribution of this power to the doorsteps of households, businesses, and industries. Secondly, we have experienced liquidity constraints manifested in payment deficits across the various value chains, from payment for gas supply to payment for power delivered at distribution level. I mentioned in one of my press conferences about 2 weeks ago that presently we are owing about 1.3 trillion naira to the power generation companies and about $1.3 billion to the gas supply companies pre-2014. If you add these two together, at today's exchange rates is in excess of 3 trillion naira. Which sector will operate effectively and efficiently with a debt overhang close to 4 trillion naira? This is something that we need to address if we must move forward. And which is actually the reason why the sector has not been attractive to new investors, both locally and internationally. We also need debt capital rather, in this sector. Which bank will be bold enough to put its money in a sector where there is no line of sight on how this money will be paid back? So a lot of the lenders have distanced themselves from this sector, which is a major issue. The Light Up Southeast will attract financing for required infrastructure upgrades, and we use metering and related technology to achieve payment assurance. We're going to do things differently here. We will prove to the investors that if you put your money in this project, you are going to get your money back. That investment recovery assurance is required. And the banks too will be willing, because we're going to use technology, especially smart meters, to ensure that we collect electricity bills from consumers. The key objective is to enable industries achieve savings from the exorbitant cost of self-generation and increase their output through a renewed focus on their core business operations. Today, over 50% of industries, due to the instability in our electricity sector, they are completely off-grid. They now have captive powers in their factories where they generate power of their own. You can imagine the number of industries that we have, and they have their own separate power generating plants. Fine, it gives them stable power, but it is not economically viable for us as a country, because every other thing actually pass on to the costs of goods produced and eventually transfer to the pricing of these commodities, which is a major driver of the inflation that we have been seeing in food, commodity, and service prices across the length and breadth of Nigeria. Components of the project will include designing, financing, developing, operating, and managing last mile distribution, and where necessary, transmission infrastructure to secure safe and reliable delivery to the customer's premises. We want to ensure a seamless operation of the entire value chain, from generation to long distance transportation and to delivery, which is the distribution to end consumers. The Light Up Nigeria project is also designed as a bilateral sales solution that will move away from the bulk purchase arrangement with the Nigeria Bulk Electricity Trading Company, MBET, to more bankable bilateral sales that will achieve, number one, efficient power dispatch that minimizes technical losses through newly built or upgrade of transmission and distribution infrastructure with protections against unauthorized connections or network-wide defaults. In the process of transporting power or transmitting power, using the technical term, a lot of power is lost because of deteriorated infrastructure that we have. But in this project, we are going to ensure that we carry out an upgrade of the transmission and distribution infrastructures to ensure that technical losses are actually minimized in the process of transporting or transmitting power. There will also be full contract payments using technology and smart metering, among other mechanisms that minimize or eliminate commercial losses. This commercial or collection losses is highly prevalent in our industry. The average loss that we have today in terms of bills not collected is about 52%. If you want to actually zero it to specific distribution companies, we have discos that have commercial collection losses as high as 75%, which means about 3/4 of the bills sent out are not collected. We cannot guarantee the continuity and sustainability of this sector in this manner. So it's actually the collective efforts of the power sector players and even the consumers that can transform this sector. We have our roles to play, but the consumers also have a great role to play. If you are asking for stable and functional electricity, you must be able to pay your bills. If you don't pay your bill, it leads to grounding to zero the operations of the power sector players. So we don't need it. The value chain must be able to operate uninterrupted. Economic development through the reduction in energy costs for industries and homes. This is also one of the major benefits of this project. If the cost of energy to both our households, to businesses, to institutions, both educational and health institutions, and to industries, if it is low, prices of goods and services will also come down. And this will improve the purchasing power of household income. We are going to get value for our naira. Our naira becomes appreciating, and the store of value function of naira comes back, unlike what we currently experience. The benefits of the project will include, number one, savings in the federal government of Nigeria public expenditure on subsidies and intervention projects. Number two, significant savings in the energy costs for target large-scale industry and residential consumers, which I've also talked about. Three, enable upscaling of production capacities by the industrial customers with increased export trading opportunities and foreign exchange earnings. This is quite logical. Once we have stable and functional electricity that's quite affordable, it's going to improve our production levels. Apart from achieving self-sufficiency locally, there will be leftovers for export. I know that export will automatically translate into foreign currency earnings, which will improve from the supply side the stock of our foreign currency and also improve the value of the naira. Infrastructural development in the new build facilities that will be commissioned. And lastly, job creation, skills, technology, and knowledge transfer. Job creation especially. We have a very high rate of unemployment. And we know that it is because a lot of industries have packed up. A lot of companies have folded. And they have retrenched their staff. Even small businesses cannot develop because they require power. The artisans have turned to Okada drivers, Okada riders. If this is restored, we believe we are going to reverse this ugly trend. And there will be jobs for our people. Once there is job for our people, there will be enough purchasing capacity of our citizens. And I believe they will all go well for the economy. To conclude, I'm here therefore to provide assurance to the business community that the Light Up Southeast project will be pursued diligently to achieve its objectives. I will invite your cooperation as the project moves towards implementation. But before I leave this podium, there are three issues I want to talk about in 3 minutes. It is when you look at the problems that we have in the power sector today, they look so simple. Improving our generation capacity, improving our evacuation to transmission, improving our transmission grid, improving the distribution infrastructure, reducing our meter gap. These are simple issues. But before me, there have been over 40 ministers of power. Why are we still at this level? Why are we still revolving around 3,000 to 4,000 megawatts of power for over 200 million people? South Korea, with just about 49 million people, produces 130,000 megawatts of power. The Republic of China, with 1.4 billion people, produce 1.3 million megawatts of power. Even South Africa produces about 55,000 megawatts of power. But since I was a child, I've been hearing about 4,000. Today, I'm approaching 53. We are still on the 4,000 megawatts, which means that the problem goes beyond the simple surface issues. There must be fundamental issues with this sector. It is those fundamental issues that this administration is trying to address so that we can bring lasting, enduring, sustainable solution to the power sector. And our industries will grow in leaps and bounds. But the issue is we need time, we need patience, we need trust, and we need confidence. So the value chain commercial efficiency is what we needed to ensure sustainability and continuity of this sector. If any sector is not operating on the natural commercial flow, it is always a problem. The moment government pledges to intervene, these pledges must come in handy, prompt, and fully cash backed. The liquidity provision for funding and investment for infrastructural upgrade and expansion is needed. Power investment is no small investment. To build a 132 kV substation or a 330 kV substation today, we are talking nothing less than $50 million. To build 100 kilometers of high voltage power line of 132 or 330 kV, it's in hundreds of $millions. So we need investment, both equity cash injection and debt capital. So this industry must be attractive to both local and foreign investors, and as well as bankers. It must be attractive to them. Lastly, sir, we want to appeal to power consumers in the Southeast. We want to appeal to my excellencies, the governors of the Southeast, to help this sector. There are some peculiar issues that we experience more in the Southeast area, and you must help us to address those issues. Number one, even though this is general across the nation, is vandalization. It is only in Nigeria that we will deliberately destroy our national assets, power assets, bringing down power transmission towers, bringing down transmission lines. Why will we not experience grid collapse? This is even more prevalent in the northern part of the country. Apart from the transmission power assets, we have distribution power assets. People go into transformers, they loot them. They also loot our substations. We need protection of this asset for us to guarantee uninterrupted power supply. And lastly is the issue of right of way, which is most peculiar to the Southeast. I must be frank and truthful. We have a number of completed transmission substations here that we cannot energize. They've been there for 5 years, 10 years. Even the items in there have been looted. Why? We cannot energize them because we could not connect the transmission power lines. And the main issue is right of way. We found it difficult to install our power lines in the Southeast. If we come for enumeration to determine who and who are we going to pay compensation to for us to be able to install power lines. If you go back to Abuja with 100 households with structures under the power lines, by the time we come back, the structure will have increased to 1,000. And out of this 1,000, shrines will be about 100. And they will force us that we must pay to the gods before we can actually clear. So we have lot and lot of abandoned transmission projects, which include substations, and transmission power lines. We need this for us to move forward. So with this, I want to thank you for the support, Your Excellencies, and I wish us a very fruitful deliberation. Thank you for your kind attention.
An eloquent rendition there from the Honorable Minister. If you don't mind, may we give him another round of applause. Thank you. Thank you, sir. We shall be moving fast. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, permit me to introduce a man who broke an over 2 decades of water scarcity in Enugu City, more than 40 years, and he came and promised 180 days. Even before then, it was achieved, and the round of applause will make him happy. Thank you. Permit me, therefore, to introduce the founder of Pinnacle Oil and Gas Limited, leader of Nigeria downstream sector, and I'm sure that this Light Up Nigeria will be very beneficial to organizations like that. But beyond that, it is necessary for me to introduce the Sun newspaper governor of the year 2023. I'll introduce the Vanguard newspaper governor of the year 2023. I introduce the New Telegraph governor of the year 2023. I also introduce the man who has converted Enugu City to a project site where over 81 road projects are being undertaken. The man building a new Enugu City that you can as well see as it is rotated there. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, the governor of Enugu State, His Excellency, Dr. Peter Ndubisimba, will now come forward to welcome our guests and address the assemblage. Your Excellency, sir, welcome once again, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Chairman of the Directors, Niger Delta Power Holding Company Limited. His Excellency, Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON. Your Excellency, the Governors of Imo State and Chairman Southeast Governors Forum, Senator Hope Uzodimma, CON. Your Excellency, Anambra State Governor Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, CFR. Your Excellency, Ebonyi State Governor Right Honorable Francis Muifuru. Your Excellency, former Senate President, Distinguished Senator Ayim Pius Ayim, GCON. Your Excellency, the former Governor of Imo State, Owele Rochas Okorocha, the Chairman Senate Committee on Power, ably represented by Senator Ostangu, and other distinguished senators that are here present. The Chairman, House Committee on Power, and other members of the House of Representatives here present. The DG Southeast Governors Forum, Senator Uche Kunife. The Honorable Minister of Power, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Chief Adebayo Adelabu. The MD CEO, Niger Delta Power Holding Company, Mr. Chiedu Ubo. Senior officers of security agencies here, our revered royal fathers, heads of boards, agencies, institutions, and parastatals, captains of industry, project partners that are here, top government functionaries, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen.
Your Excellency, let me, on behalf of the government and the good people of Enugu State, and also on behalf of my brothers, the Southeast governors, bid you welcome to the homeland of Ndibo. We bid you welcome to the historic city of this country. As Your Excellency would know, Enugu State is a consequential state and has played various historic roles in the development of our country. So I want to truly bid you welcome. It is indeed also my honor to welcome all our invited guests to this occasion of the launch of the Niger Delta Power Holding Company innovative Light Up Nigeria project. Thank you all for honoring this invitation to flag off the project in the Southeast. Again, I want to most especially express our honor to welcome His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to Enugu on this his maiden visit as the Vice President. We're certainly proud to have you here in our midst today. It is no secret how busy your schedule typically is, but we know it is even busier still on this occasion, given your other engagements in Aba today. For you to be here with us underlines your professionalism and deep interest in the progress of the private sector. While this may not be surprising given your background in the private sector, it is still most heartwarming, and we do not take it for granted. Thank you, Your Excellency. Today, we are flagging off what is, in my view, a new dawn for the power sector in the Southeast, and one of the most innovative initiatives in the power sector, the Light Up Nigerian project. This project is of critical importance since it deals with the power sector, which I believe is pivotal to economic growth. Indeed, if we fixed power, a lot of other sectors would have fallen into place. This project ensures efficient dispatch of power to the largest consumer via bilateral sales agreement, removing the existing bottlenecks of bulk purchase arrangement through NBET. And it leverages on a willing buyer, willing sellers structure. The program will certainly bring improved access to reliable and affordable power to the Southeast. This will in turn result in reduced power costs for the productive sector and enable them improve productivity and generate jobs. We can all agree that this is critical in this day, where the country is pushing to boost production and drive up exports to ultimately shore up our domestic currency. This project aligns completely with our approach to governance in Enugu, in the sense that it is a very disruptive initiative. And typically, when we talk about disruptive innovation, we're quite aligned with it, because it means that we have to basically think outside the box. We must look at disruptive way of interrogating the status quo and basically coming out with, it could be a business model. It doesn't necessarily always have to be component. We can also disrupt a business model and create value. And this is, to me, what this reflects. So we are indeed happy to be associated with this. not just from the point of view of Enugu, but also from the southeast point of view, as a region with a compact economy. Someone said 22 million, but we're far more than 22 million. We're actually more than 27 million, living within a landmass of less than 30,000 square kilometers. So you can say in terms of population density, outside Lagos, we're the most densely populated region in the country, living within 30,000 square kilometers and having a market size of 27 million people. You cannot beat this. The opportunities are here. However, what these parties, we saw this when we actually sought the mandate of our people in Enugu State, when we clearly set out our objectives and goals, which of course came across to many people as ambitious. We were convinced beyond doubt that governance today requires thinking outside the box, that we must depart from the business as usual model, and which was why we made very consequential pronouncements on the day of our inauguration, and saying that ours would be business unusual. Business unusual. It is this same school of thought that informs this program, which is why we're gathered here to flag off this project today. It is initiative like this that will drive our economy in Enugu and indeed in the southeast to hit its stated objective in terms of industrial growth, GDP growth, and the eradication of poverty. This is because access to affordable power goes to the root of improving the ease of doing business in any economy, and thus enhances private sector investment. In line with this, we must deeply thank His Excellency the Vice President, as well as the leadership of the NDPHC, for coming up with this winning strategy. It could not have come at a better time than now, when we absolutely need to boost our productivity in the country, to strengthen our local currency and the economy at large. For our own part, we commit to continue to support industrialists and other private sector across our state to complement the undeniable boost that this program will bring them. We shall continue our efforts towards growing various cross-sectoral business clusters in the state, both by consolidating upon the existing business parks in the state and by accelerating new clusters, such as the special agro-processing zones. It is also my hope that this program, which will see the emergence of islands of power availability within the southeast, will also provide a stepping stone for the smaller power users to key in and access more reliable power supply. I would like to take advantage of this platform to encourage other investors in the power value chain to redouble their efforts to provide responsive solutions to the current problems of the power sector by deploying their innovative faculties in the way that NDPHC has just done. This could be in the areas of improving power supply or reducing technical or commercial losses. All of these will go a long way in improving the delivery of affordable power to the last mile and bringing to fruition the great economic potentials of this country. In closing, let me enjoin our industrialists who are well represented here today to fully key into and take advantage of this initiative to remove any bottlenecks that are facing regarding power availability. Long have we lamented our situation with respect to power supply. The government, through NDPHC, has now listened to our cries and stretched forth their hands in support. Let us not miss this opportunity. Let today go down in history as the turning point for our story regarding power supply in the Southeast. Thank you very much for honoring this call. I wish us a fruitful time here. Thank you and God bless you all.
Your Excellencies, while they are trying to sort out the microphone, I'd like to welcome here the House Committee, Federal House of Representatives Committee Chairman on Power, Right Honorable Victor Nwokolo. He's here with us. I welcome you. Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is intentional about leadership. On all fronts, he has demonstrated a sense of humanity anchored on responsibility, accountability, and prudence. His achievements cover education, infrastructure, security, and health. He has formed industrial clusters that are integrated, and I understand he has signed an MOU with EEDC to bring light to Anambra State. And then somebody asked him, when you leave, what will you want to be remembered for? And he said, all I want is that when I'm gone, they could look back and say, I have turned Anambra State into a livable homeland. I'd like to welcome here Professor Chukwuma Soludo, Governor, Anambra State.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, my colleague Excellencies, we've been warned that I'm sure the Excellency is about to rush out. So all protocols duly observed. I looked at the program and we're supposed to speak 5 minutes each. So our host governor, I'm sure, has spoken for and on behalf of all of us. So I'm only here to say just a few words of footnote in solidarity. First point, Your Excellency, is to join my voice in welcoming you to the political capital of the Southeast, Enugu, Nigeria. This is a regional program by the MPDC on the Light Up Nigeria. And it's quite auspicious that it's being held in the political capital of the Southeast, Enugu, which is also where I live. So I want to welcome you as a co-host and also my home. My governor has spoken, he's a resident, as it were. Having said that, the one quick thing I want to say, while commending the federal government and the MPDC for this initiative, I want to say that enough of the book of lamentations. I mean, I listened to the first few speeches and quite a lot of lamentations. Let's move from lamentations to solutions now. And I want to believe that this particular session, at the end of which, will come out with actionable, executable agenda to provide power to our people. who know the problems, Honorable Minister. On Saturday, you enumerated all of them. I almost had a heart attack. The MD, long list of them and so on. Let's focus on getting the solutions here. In Anambra, we have a mantra that the solution is here. And within this room, and with all the people gathered here, at the end of this session, we come out with actionable agenda. And I said that I don't want to, go back to the issue of the importance of electricity. It's a driver for everything. You know, it's like the American Express. You don't leave home without it. Nothing else will happen without power. Yes, and I want to commend the National Assembly and our governors. We have done something as part of the solution, and which is removing electricity from the exclusive legislative list to the concurrent legislative list, so that governors in their respective states can now create viable, competitive electricity markets. That's part of the solution. And I want to commend everyone who has played a role in making this to happen. For us, Southeast EEDC is here, and it's quite auspicious that it is today that you'll be going to commission the geometrics in Aba, pushed by one of our illustrious sons, Professor Barton Nudge. I would dare to say Barton Nudge is from Enugu State here. But he's been on this project for maybe more than 15 years. And finally, I salute his doggedness and determination that finally, after more than 15 years, going up and down and so on, I followed the trajectory of that. Today, you are going there to commission this. This is part of the kind of solution, embedded, captive power in clusters that we need. And the solution, actually, overarching solution framework is strategic partnerships. Strategic partnerships. Partnerships between the federal, MPDC, the private sector, and the states, each doing their own part. I'm also glad that the chairman of EEDC, board of EEDC, is here. It's not just powering the EEDC. In Anambra, Your Excellency, you were there a few months ago to commission the 1.4 million metering company. They produce 1.4 million meters per annum. And provide the power and meter it. It's as simple. We're doing quite a whole lot on our own state. The electricity bill or law will soon be passed. But beyond just passing the law, we've worked hard to develop electricity policy that will create a vibrant market for everyone to operate. But we need to unlock one other thing that is in the exclusive list. That's gas. Gas. To have the electricity come out from the exclusive list into the concurrent legislative list without gas, federal government still having a stranglehold on gas. That's a challenge. So the Honorable Minister, when you go home, put it in your own to-do list. We should go back to National Assembly to unbundle it and take out gas from the exclusive list and put it into the concurrent legislative list. Anambra has abundance of gas, but we can't take it and provide power for our people. We need electricity. At best of time, we get about 112 megawatts of electricity in Anambra. That's barely 40 watts per person per hour. Impossible. Anambra is an industrial hub. We have the second smallest landmass after Lagos, second highest population density after Lagos. Some will say the industrial commercial hub of the Southeast. But without power, we can't. We have invested, we've named this and so on and so forth as the one doing uncommon stuff in terms of infrastructure, but not in the area in power. We're doing the much we can, but we need the partnerships to work. So I want to say, dear friends, the ease of doing business. And the last one, the Anambra was ranked number 1 out of the 17 southern states. But power. We could do everything to fix all the areas of doing business. Without power, that's not going to work. So today, I want to say, dear friends, the solution agenda is here. Let us in this room, when we leave, come with 2, 3, 4 actionable agenda. What NDPC must take home with, what the federal government will help us more with, what the private sector, the EEDC, we've signed an MOU, they're doing their bit. We need the transmission companies here, they're building the transmission lines, a few of them in Anambra, but they need the connectivity. You are right of way, we'll give you that. We're guaranteed that in Anambra, so that's not any problem. Let's solve them and unleash on this. Let's light up the Southeast. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. Where there is soludo, there is solution. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, the Vice President, let me again welcome the Governor of Ebonyi State. As you know, Ebonyi State was created out of Enugu State. And it will not be surprising to have what we are doing in Enugu State, we are doing it in Ebonyi State. For instance, His Excellency Governor Mwifru has established a lot of things in Ebonyi State to make the state more governable. Digital transformation, e-government, which is also happening in the state. The civil servants are rejoicing because he's there as the governor. Today, there is a People's Charter of Needs that he is promoting in Ebonyi State, which is making every member of that state to smile. Ladies and gentlemen, as I welcome him and congratulate him on his victory at the Supreme Court recently, I now ask that His Excellency Governor Francis Mwifru will now take this stand. Please, a round of applause to welcome him. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the Vice President of Nigeria, distinguished stakeholders, let me stand on the already established protocol. Your Excellency, the Vice President, I'm very delighted to be part of those that welcome you today in Enugu. In Ebonyi, we believe in the People's Charter of Need, and electricity is part of it. But we don't believe in good English and speaking grammar at all times. We believe in proper implementation of what we say. So I want to urge you, Mr. Vice President, and the stakeholders in this power industry to believe in implementing whatever thing we say today, rather than coming here to speak English, and at the end of the day, we achieve nothing. 2, you talk about lights. There is no way people will be willing to pay for electricity with a lot of estimated bill. People will never be willing to pay. You must be able to come out from that cubicle believing that definitely they must understand you. Nobody is ready to understand you. People are getting of age. They're getting to know that, yes, it is time for us to pay for the value of what we use. I'm urging the Minister of Power. I'm very delighted, very excited when I listened to him. The way he talked about the impediment of this great industry encouraged me that yes, if opportunity is given to him, he will provide solution. And I'm very grateful to welcome you. And I say may God Almighty guide you and direct you peacefully in Jesus' name. Thank you very much.
You know, somebody once said that brevity is the salt of oratory. He kept it straight to the point. I'm not surprised. Ebonyi is the salt of the nation. Let's put our hands together for His Excellency the Governor. And so finally, we'll be going to our the next governor before we invite His Excellency the Vice President. Your Excellency, this man has equipped over 100,000 Imo young people with digital skills. Power, he's working on it. Education is his focus. No wonder there's a slogan of skill up Imo. As far as he's concerned, for as long as he's governor, hope will be alive. So, Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, from massive infrastructural development to soft skills, the man is keeping hope alive in Imo State. Please join us. I welcome the chairman of the Southeast Governors Forum, the governor of Imo State, as he takes a very hopeful step to hear His Excellency Senator Hope Uzodimma.
Your Excellency, the Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, most distinguished Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON. Your Excellencies, my brothers, governors of Southeast region, members of the National Assembly, very important invited dignitaries here seated, ladies and gentlemen. Let me start by formally, on behalf of the government and people of Southeast region, to welcome our amiable Vice President and to thank him for the support he has given to this region since he emerged as Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And through him, extend our warm felicitations to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. Today is a remarkable very day that we are here to support the federal government through Niger Delta Power Holding Company to at least discuss and listen to stakeholders, something that should ordinarily give us hope that at the end of the day, the Light Up Nigeria project, after being flagged off in Lagos, the second flag off is happening here in Enugu, our regional capital, for such a national project. I listened to my dear brother, the governor of Enugu State. He presented a well-articulated speech to this august body. And reasonably, that represents really the interest and position of us here in Southeast. I listened to the Minister of Power, just like my brother governor of Anambra State noted. He rolled out the impediments that has not made Nigerian people have steady and robust supply of power to our businesses and homes. And the governor of Ebonyi State summarized it. The truth of the matter that sometimes there are questions that are capable of provoking genuine interest to our people in Nigeria. In 1998, the power holding company of Nigeria was generating over 6,000 megawatts of power. In 1999 to 2007, the federal government of Nigeria spent over $13 billion from taxpayers' money to develop the power sector. By 2024, 78% of the homes and the industries in Nigeria have no access to power. Something is definitely wrong. There is a need for a comprehensive audit of decisions taken in the past, where we have gotten it right and where we didn't get it right, so that we will start from the known to the unknown. The people of Southeast are hardworking people, very enterprising people. Unfortunately, 85% of the industries in Southeast are closed down for lack of power. And this is a zone that is richly endowed by God with natural resources. You talk of gas, it is in the Niger Delta Formation, which Southeast zone is part of it. You talk of oil, it is in this formation. Is it because of our inability to manage our natural resources, or what? The connection between generation, transmission, and distribution is supposed to be an internal protocol. It is not what we come here to discuss with the stakeholders. The simple arithmetic here is demand and supply. You give us power, and we will pay for the power. You have shown that over the years, that government after government has not been able to give power to the people. 9 months ago, President Bola Tinubu came to power as president with Senator Shettima, GCON, as his vice. And all of us here in this room and in Nigeria expect them to solve this problem of power that have lingered for 45 years in 7 months. If truth must be told, are we being reasonable? So I think that we must wear our thinking cap and ask some questions, because this is our common patrimony. The money being spent is being spent for and on behalf of me and you. So the managers of this sector, the beneficiaries of this sector, I think you create a situation whereby you are happy and Nigerians are happy. Can we allow for a win-win situation where power must get to our homes and our industries? Today, a bag of cement is 13,000. If we have power in Enkelago, Niger State will be working. If we have power in Enugu, the coal company will be working. Our rail system is still working in those ancient manner because of lack of power. We are not here to discuss the need for power supply in Nigeria. We are here to tell some of us the home truth, that we should wear our thinking cap and give Nigerians power. From taxpayers' money, a lot of money has been spent. The managers of this sector, please wake up and help us do justice, so that God will forgive all of us. Thank you.
Your Excellency, I say amen. God will forgive all of us. Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in 1909, coal was discovered in Enugu. What this says in terms of what we're doing here today, that there's already a naturally given power source before we are starting to light up Nigeria. Let me welcome here my friend and brother, the Controller General of Customs, Mr. Adewale Bashir Adeniyi, who is here with us. I welcome you. Thank you very much. He just winked at me now that all the money you need for the power sector, Customs will bring it. So like I said, 1909, coal was discovered, power was waiting for power. But I'm very happy here that the Field Marshal of Light Up Nigeria is here in our midst. He's a friend of the Southeast. Ukpo gave him a title, Enyin Ndi Igbo. So Igbo land, your friend is here. And as you step on this ground, he shall bless you. I shall welcome here His Excellency the Vice President of Nigeria, President Kashim Shettima GCOM.
Kindly sit down, please, Your Excellency. We have moved beyond the pace of politics to governance. And I want to register my profound gratitude to our host governor, Dr. Peter Mba, for redefining the meaning and concept of modern governance in Enugu State. What binds us together supersedes whatever that divides us. Forget about politics. We are talking of governance. Taps are flowing in Enugu. And I will be back here to commission your smart schools. And the Southeast has never had it so good with leadership at the subnational levels. The governors are doing excellently well. Your Excellency, the Governor of Enugu State, Dr. Peter Mba. Your Excellency, the Governor of Imo State and Chairman Southeast Governors Forum, Governor Ho Uzodinma. Your Excellency, the Governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Soludo. Your Excellency, the Governor of Ebonyi State. He reminds me of Paul Kagame, very stern-looking, like the headmaster, Right Honorable Francis Ihufolo. Former Senate President, Senator Ayim Pius Ayim GCON. Distinguished and honorable members of the National Assembly present, particularly Senator Osita Ngu, Senator Ifeanyi Uba, Senator Osita Izunaso, my very good friend. And Right Honorable Victor Okolo, Chairman House Committee on Power. Senator Okolo, your business is not about constituency projects. Come and ensure the light of the East materializes. The Honorable Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu. The Deputy Chief of Staff to the President, Senator Ibrahim Hassan Hadija. My very good friend who has come all the way to witness this function, the Comptroller General of Customs, Bashir Adewale Adeniyi. My other very good friend with whom I came here, Wele Rochas Anayo Okorocha, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Niger Delta Power Holding Company, Mr. Joseph Chedu Uko, and the management team of the company, the Director General of the Southeast Governors Forum, EO, distinguished Senator Lilian Uche Konipe, and of course, distinguished Senator Ifeanyi Uba, is listening with rapt attention whether I will miss out his name or not. Members of the Enugu State Executive and Security Council present, captains of industry, especially the elder statesman, Sir Emeka Ofo, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are again to fulfill yet another promise. Here we are to reassure you of our responsibility for the industrial expansion of this nation. I am thrilled to witness the second launch of the strategic collaboration between the Niger Delta Power Holding Company and its invaluable partners. We gather here today to embark on a transformative journey, the launch of the Light of Nigeria project in the southeastern states. This marks a renewal of hope for industrialists, for investors, and for the homes that have long endured the consequences of Nigeria's power supply deficit. When we initiated the pilot project with the business roundtable at the Akbara industrial area on October 12, 2023, we engaged major investors and industrialists from Akbara, Ogun State, and neighboring clusters in Oyo and Lagos states, who are sure of our direction in pursuit of the priorities set by His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And the dream under construction attracts us to this historic city of poles and industries. The Light of Nigeria project powers the hope of our industrialists and serves as a long-awaited solution to the power supply deficit that has undermined our economy over the past decades. So this intervention isn't a ribbon-cutting charade. This is a calculated endeavor to re-engineer our economy, and whatever we design to oil the wheels of our industries is futile unless we stabilize the Nigerian electricity supply industry. Power is known for any industrial takeoff, and we'll talk from now till eternity about industries. If there is no power, we are just engaging in exercising utility. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I bear the mandate of President Tinubu to assure you that the project transcends rhetoric. The Southeast is an industrial powerhouse, and its economic fortunes remains a critical priority of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The governor of Enugu State quoted a figure of 27 million as the people living in the Southeast. I beg to differ with him. The inhabitants of the Southeast might not be less than 35 million. And if Southeast works, Nigeria works. Ali Al-Amin Mazrui, at the risk of sounding repetitive, described the Igbos as Nigerian Jews, geographically mobile, economically enterprising, and educationally ambitious. Part of the hope. Beyond having the hope of the nation here in our midst, the hope of the nation rests with Igbo. We are mightily proud of the Igbo. It's a very proud and industrious people. I feel at home in Enugu. Give me land, give land to the president. We'll develop homes in Enugu because Enugu is home. The practicality of this project is woven into the fabric of NDPHS's illustrious track record, a testament to the exceptional collaboration with esteemed partners such as TCN, EEDC, Enerix One Limited, and GenSource Power Limited. This alliance has been pivotal in achieving the success we proudly acknowledge today. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I had to intervene about a week ago with the MD of the NDPHC over some dates that one of the discourse is oil. I said no, we cannot afford to cut off the Southeast from power supply. The little they are getting must be sustained and even jacked up further. So, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I can assure you that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu means well for the nation, means well for Igbo, means well for the Southeast. And the governors, you may like to demonize them, but the governors of the Southeast are some of the best in the nation, who have looked at the larger interests of the nation over and beyond the local interests. And I believe in the fullness of time, posterity will judge Dr. Peter Mba kindly. Posterity will judge Governor Hope Uzodimma kindly. Posterity will judge Professor Chukwuma Soludo kindly. Posterity will judge Right Honorable Francis Nwefuru Kagame very kindly. And he is not here. Posterity will judge Alex Otti kindly. Will support it, you with all the resources at our disposal. We have to make the Southeast work. I have come to the Southeast at the instruction of the President more than any part of the country. I have been to Anambra, I think 3 or 4 times. I have been to Imo. It's Enugu that I am coming for the first time. But right now we are proceeding to Abia to commission geometrics power station owned by the elder statesman Professor Naj. And we are going to commission some road projects constructed by Governor Alex Otti. I'm coming back to Enugu to represent the President and cut the ribbon for the Smart School initiative. Education is the greatest game changer. Within a generation, the son of a peasant can be a celebrated icon. So let's invest in education, especially on the girl child education. And after this meeting, I will have a brief meeting because we are targeting the Southeast for the IDICE program, where we hope to create 2 million jobs for women and youth. Together, we are going to reach the promised land. I want to thank you most sincerely for the warm reception accorded me. And honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I feel at home here. I am closer to the Southeastern governors than some of my northern brothers, honestly. I am very much at home. These are my friends. These are my brothers, these are my contemporaries, including the northern Igbo seated here. Thank you so much, and God bless us.
He is well and truly Enyi Igbo, friend of the Igbos. Your Excellency, we thank you. You are home. My colleague said we should work on some Igbo names for you. We'll set up a committee to drop a white paper. So, Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to wrap up before we go into the business roundtable, it's my pleasure to bring a woman here who is actually the first and only female executive director of NDPHC, a lawyer with over 30 years experience covering both public and private sectors. Please join us and welcome Mrs. Chikuyelo Mba. Nkechinyelo Mba.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, more particularly, the Chairman of the Board of Directors of NDPHC. Your Excellency, no. Alwa, Maje, Deje, Imela, Topuhu. I agree to you because in Igbo, this is my homeland. Your Excellency, the land is a spirit. It hears your heart, and this land will bless you. Because you have a heart for the people, not just the Igbo people, but the Nigerian people. I've worked under you a couple of months now, and I've seen the sense of urgency that you bring to bear on the things that are important and critical for survival as a nation. Again, I ask that this land bless you in the name of Jesus. I salute their excellencies, the 5 wise men of the East. It's never been a better time for us. I'm so happy, so proud, because we're living in the season of the renaissance of the spirit of Desam and the spirit of Jim. They're at work now. We see gallant men of vision doing great things for our people. Jesus. Your Excellency, before I thank our partners, I would like to introduce you to my brothers. They're seated over there. The men of legendary accomplishments in business and commerce and industry. Even Harvard University teaches a course on the Igbo business commercial system. And I think we have like 2 generations seated over there, from the Chikasins and all the Sinsins and the younger ones. And then, of course, the female, the Hanukkah here, Lady Dozie is in the room. So proud of my sisters doing great things in the world of business. I want to thank, on behalf of the management and staff of Niger Delta Power Holding Company, our project partners, the key stakeholders that have lined up and are supporting the Light Up Nigeria project. The chairman of NERCO, even though he isn't here, the MD of TCN, and more particularly, the one that's become my best friend recently. He's the MD of FGN Power, Mr. Kenny Ahue. I told him today that we're going to dance before he leaves this place. He's FGN Power. He's the agency behind the transformers that we're taking to Abara. And he's here to see the need we have here. And when we have this dance, he'll give me all the transformers that I need for my people and my land. Thank you, Kenny, for being here. So very grateful. We are taking off in the network system of EEDC. The chairman of EEDC is here. He's opened up his network. He's promised us that we can work together, set up a partnership with the Light Up team and EEDC to ensure that all of the off-takers that sign up to take power from this initiative, there's improved efficiency, better dispatch, and a whole new level of professionalism. Thank you for welcoming us into your network. I want to thank our project partners, Enerix, EUL, GenSource. I want to thank Skipper GTA. He's seated over there. He's taking off the Abara project for us, and he's deploying, he's assured us, first week of March, he's on ground in Abara, and hopefully in the next 3 months, Your Excellency. Sorry, it took a little longer, but learning curves. This one will do faster because we've learned a couple of things. Sorry? Your Excellency, I'm not going to make you another promise and break it. Please. Please. 6 months, sir. Okay, then the MD is day and night, 4 months, Honorable Minister. Okay, so Kenny, you're hearing this, right? So yes.
Your Excellency, the Vice President, Your Excellencies, I stand here to commit that we'll do this in 4 months. We've had some lessons learned, particularly from procurement, and that is why I dragged my friend and my colleague, the FGM Power Company here, and the MD of TCN, who are our partners in this progress, and we are working directly with the Honorable Minister to achieve this. We assure you that in 4 months, we'll have lessons learned. We'll follow. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, that's my dance partner.
Thank you, Your Excellencies. Your wish is my command, sir. We will do as you've requested. All of the resources that are the behest of the Honorable Minister of Power, of course, are our own mandate under the Presidential Power Initiative. We'll make them available to the NDPHC without any further ado. Thank you, sir.
And so, to my brothers, I'm wrapping up very quickly. Honorable Christian Udechukwu, I want to thank you. Thank you so very much. The first time we came in here, your spirit, your drive, your encouragement. Listen, to all of my brothers, the industrialists that are here, if you look around the room, you find out that almost all the regulators in the Nigerian business ecosystem are in this room today at the invitation of His Excellency the Vice President. And the reason is really simple. All of the issues, the bottlenecks that you experience along the line of doing business, he's seated here today ready as he was in Abara to tackle all of them. So whatever issues beyond power that you have that get in the way of your efficiency and your productivity, that's what the business roundtable is. But if you also look around, you notice that the Attorney General is not here. So this is not a political conference. They will not be taking questions on new local governments. So anything that it gets in the way of your doing business, His Excellency is here. He wants things working. He wants problems solved. Please, I thank you especially, Chairman Southeast Governors Forum, Odenibo, and tomorrow is here. Thank you for such gracious hosting. I'm so very proud and happy. Thank you. Your Excellency, no. Ogadilogima, ani buka gozigi. Fobuniti elakabi wentia. Chineke gano nyelugi. As you have a heart for us, the spirit of our land is with you. You will go further, faster, stronger. Ogadilogima.
Every time she speaks, she gives me reason to hope, and at times she brings tears out of my eyes. I don't know why those mixed emotions come after she speaks. Can we give her a motherly round of applause? So very quickly, we'll move on to the round table. I will first of all bring on the youngest person that will be on that table, our moderator. Chukubika Neto, where are you? The moderator is an extremely intelligent young man. You will go on stage because the governors have not sat down, you'll be standing. Stay right here. And so let me welcome now the Excellencies. The Governor of Enugu State, please, I welcome you to take your seat on the stage. The Governor of Anambra State, the Governor of Imo State, the Governor of Ebonyi State, please, can we rise to be part of the business for roundtable, please? The MD and the Honorable Minister of Power, you are part of this.
Excellency the Vice President, Your Excellencies, all the governors of the Southeast states, and all the members on the roundtable, welcome. So, ladies and gentlemen, very quickly, we are very mindful of the fact that His Excellency the Vice President has a very busy schedule for today, so we'll try to make this as efficient as possible. This is also important to get the feedback from the business community. So, very quickly, the way it will work is that I would invite any one of the business community present, any representative who would like to give a comment, feedback, a request. The Vice President has graciously given us essentially a blank check to bring up whatever the issues are for us. And he and any other member of the team, as the esteemed persons on the panel that he delegates, will also address any of those issues. So the floor is open, and at this moment, with the Vice President's kind permission, I would invite anyone who would like to speak on behalf of any of the business communities here present. If you could just indicate, and I would move from there. If you could please introduce yourself. I believe you were the first hand I saw. The organization you represent, and very quickly, please, your question.
Your Excellency, the Vice President, and Your Excellencies, the Governors, my name is Charles Obulogo. I'm Vice Chancellor of Medical University, a new university located between Enugu and Nsukka. I'm excited that power has been unbundled, that power has been taken away from the exclusive list and not concurrent. The university we are running is a mega university, and it spans across 5,500 hectares. But one major challenge we have is no electricity crosses that line. We make our power, we use our diesel, we use our gas, we use our solar energy, and it becomes a very exorbitant thing, because we intend to make sure education, which is primary, is critical to our people. We intend to have a connection with this agency, and we learned there's a new rapprochement happening around Nike resorts. We are appealing at this stage if we can have a connection between Enugu and Nsukka, so that our axis will be covered, so that our power will be maximized, so that we can provide education at a good cost. Please help us. Thank you.
May I ask Your Excellency, sir, if your preference would be to have all of the comments first before we respond? Okay, thank you. Please.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, my name is Lady Ada Chukwudozie, and I'm the Chairman of Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, representing Anambra, Enugu, and Ebonyi states. Ours is to express our gratitude, our excitement, and optimistic. We are very, very grateful to have been given the opportunity to say something here. And we are very, very happy that you visited us in the Southeast region. We are very, very excited that government is innovatively providing disruptive solutions to a problem that has bothered us so much. We are also very, very optimistic that this particular initiative is going to work out very well. We are impressed that you are driving this initiative by yourself. We are also very impressed that you deemed it fit to launch it in other regions other than your own region. And that shows that you're a true Nigerian, and that also shows that you have good, sterling leadership qualities that should be emulated. So we appreciate your open-mindedness, we appreciate your passion, and we appreciate your commitment
towards the economic development, progress, and prosperity of Nigeria. Now, coming from the manufacturers, there are a lot of challenges that bedevil us. And this issue of power is very critical and pivotal because it is the energy that drives other sectors. Other governors have in the past, I must acknowledge, done something about this. It has also been said here about the effort of our Governor Chukwuma Charles Soludo, and in partnership with EEDC, which is yielding fruits. And I think other governors are doing something in that direction. But this particular Light Up Nigeria is like renewed hope for us. And we want to assure you that we are ready to collaborate with you in all ramifications. Currently, the issue, there is a dire need for government to pay attention to productivity. Productivity, not just for food sufficiency, but productivity in terms of growing the food and commodities, that is resource-based productivity. And this resource-based productivity, if government pays true attention to it by, first of all, providing security for farmers to go to their farmlands, providing incentives for them, providing farming implements, then there will be enough production of food and commodity which will engender export oriented industrialization, rural industrialization, resource-based industrialization, and also import substitution industrialization. And with the import substitution industrialization, if government can support manufacturers who are producing locally, support the use of locally produced goods, and then use the interplay of barriers, tariff barriers and quotas to encourage these local manufacturers. A case in study is Innocent Group, who is currently producing motor vehicles. If Nigeria can support locally produced goods, I think it will go a long way. Outside this, there is need for government to look into the tariff from custom, especially as it concerns manufacturers. If it is possible, give us an incentive that is exclusive to manufacturers so that our raw materials, our machines can come in at a reduced duty. So this alone can also help engender productivity in the country. Just to round up, I want to plead that manufacturers also be considered, manufacturers be considered in a way that sourcing foreign exchange will come easy for them. Thank you so very much, Your Excellency. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. May I just ask everyone, please, to be a little more efficient with time so that we can get everyone covered. One moment. You will be next. Please go ahead. Yes.
All right. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. And Your Excellency Vice President, the Excellency Governors, and Honorable Minister of Power Adelabu, and MD of NDPGC. Yes. And first, let me introduce myself briefly. And my name is Robin. We come from China Machinery Engineering Corporation, CMAC. Our company come to Nigeria more than 20 years, since 1990s. And also for Vice President, it is our honor to invite you to our country, China, last year during the One Belt and One Shared initiative. And our President, Chinese President, Mr. Xi, is very honored to meet with you and have fulfilled discussion between two countries and two leaders. We are the EPC contractor and development partner in Nigeria for more than 20 years. We built Zhongguo hydropower, the largest hydropower plants in Nigeria. And also we started built the Omotocho power plant, phase 1, phase 2. And also Vice President Shettima went to, okay. And I want to express our greetings and readiness that we are on behalf of China, and we are also honored to be invited as the only Chinese partner here to use our facility and resources from China and to make more contribution in the field of power. This is what we want to express our gratitude here. Thank you.
His Excellency, the Vice President, and the governors, my name is Balarabe Abdullahi, the MD of Saluguru Nigeria Limited. It will interest you today to know some things that you don't know. I, standing here, wrote the first memo to the President, Olusegun Obasanjo. Then, we should come out of the box, just like the Honorable Minister said, when we are small, 2,000 megawatts. I'm 60, 2,000 megawatts. Something is wrong somewhere. I took the initiative. I wrote him that you can't get light with Nigerian budget. Using Nigerian budget, you can't get light. You get light when you establish an organization that has nothing to do with Nigerian budget. Pump in money there, and you will get light. Because the contractors will give you the light on time. Money. When you don't have money, you can't get light. Because the contractor will go to the site, he will borrow the money, he will do the work, come back with his invoice, no payment because of budget. So you can see why we said, pump in money there. And the money was pumped into independent power project. Then, I was happy. We have more than 15,000 megawatts from Niger Delta Power Holding. So in Nigeria, we have light, but change of government. You know, when somebody don't understand how it works, you can't get it. When President Buhari came in then, former president, I was in the stand with him when he said $16 billion was released. Where is the light? After 8 years, he has gone. We are still asking, where is the light? It will surprise you to know that I made an independent investigation. 16 billion was never released to Niger Delta Power Holding. The MD is standing there. It is 8 billion possible. Until you find out who kept or who is keeping the balance $8 billion, then you will now start getting light. NDPSC is able, they are there, the MD is there, to give Nigeria 15,000 megawatts. I have been proven right. Ministry of Power cannot give Nigeria up till today 1 megawatts for 40 years. So it means give the money and you get light. Recognize the contractor and you will get light. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency. My name is Ambassador Odinwosu. I'm the Deputy President of NASMI. I also used to work, I'm the co-founder of Kutix PLC in the industrial town of Nnewi, Anambra State. Thank you, Your Excellency, for affording us this opportunity to exchange ideas with you. Because of your time, I will only deal with two major things. One is, in whatever is being used to power Nigeria, they should buy locally made products for these things. The second thing is, because of the poverty level in Nigeria, please phase removal of subsidy on electricity. And the third thing that I would like to say is, in all the major decisions, please bring in the private sector so that they can introduce some ideas on how things can be done to fit the population. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I will apologize in advance, everyone. There's going to be a cutoff at some point. His Excellency the Vice President still has a very busy day, but I believe you would be next.
Your Excellency, Vice President of the Federal Republic, our governors, Honorable Minister, my name is Henry Ifeanyi Mbadiwe, and I am the Registrar of the Chartered Institute of Project Managers of Nigeria. We regulate project management in Nigeria, and I am coming from a different angle, sir. Sir, and it is the angle of human capital development. Sir, these machineries and all of these constructions would not power themselves and would not work themselves. The entire plan relies on good planning. The entire project relies on good planning, change management, risk management, stakeholder management. Sir, this is our job. And we are willing to work with this initiative and every other initiative to ensure that we bring power to the power sector. Our project managers are local, and we have that skill set to be able to join forces with all stakeholders in the Federal Republic to bring power to the Southeast and every part of Nigeria. Thank you, sir.
Your Excellency, the Vice President, and Your Excellencies, I am very impressed with this statement of Governor Soludo for solutions. Though everyone has spoken excellent, and I am close to most of you, sir. My name is Jitendra Sachdeva. I am the chairman of Skipper. Dangote Refinery, 480 megawatt combined cycle was completed in spite of COVID in half years, and today it is fully operational power plant. A power infrastructure having 190 power transformers is fully operational. What this gentleman said, sir, the combination of resources and planning. There is no problem of resources in Nigeria. Sir, my request to you today, let us have a combined committee of the Ministry of Power and NDPSC under your leadership. Every month review. Make a timeline of 1 year. There will be a lot of change, sir. Make a mix of private sector, government, and project reviews every month. The whole nation will come to the right track, sir. Thank you so much.
All right. Again, just for the last time, I'm so sorry. I'm going to take two more questions, and please, I will give priority to the local business leaders around, and then we will go on to the esteemed table.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the Vice President, Your Excellencies, the Governors, Your Excellency, the Vice President, I felt so excited when you made us know that the Controller General of Customs is your personal friend. In fact, my name is Ifeanyi Okoye. I'm the CEO of Joel Nigeria Limited, one of the few manufacturing companies in the Southeast. We suffer a lot from customs, most especially when goods come from Lagos to the Southeast. In fact, I'll use my personal experience with my personal experience. Just early this February, a rented truck by my company was accosted by customs on the way and delayed for 1 week for nothing. We were transporting already imported goods by different merchants in Lagos down to our factory for manufacturing. This truck was accosted and held for 1 week. No reasons. The goods, list of goods the truck was carrying was given to them. They checked everything and took the truck to their place and kept it for 1 week. We were forced to pay 200 and something thousand naira. No reason whatsoever. Maybe I heard somebody said, this company don't see them, which was not acceptable at all. I want you to use your good office, Your Excellency. I'm very glad the custom boss is here to get them to know that we down here must have to move goods from Lagos down here for our own good. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, this is the last question. And again, I apologize to everyone. The rest of the team will be available to continue to address other concerns. But go ahead, please. You will be the last.
Okay.
Thank you.
Your Excellency, the Vice President, Your Excellencies, the Governors, my name is Kingsley Eze. I'm from Enugu State. I represent a holding company, a family holding company that recently started investing in manufacturing, and we've set up our first manufacturing plant in Nigeria. And I give these details for a reason. As a new entrant in the manufacturing space, as we speak, we have ordered a plant that is 2 plants actually taking delivery of one power plant that is just slightly under $2 million. And as I sit here listening to some of these wonderful ideas of this partnership that will help solve the power problem, I'm wondering what happens to this investment. How quickly is this thing going to happen? How soon are we going to get this solution that will help us take off the burden of generating power for ourselves and then focus on the business of manufacturing? So I'd like to have information around timelines. I mean, I think it's going to be very helpful. Then the second one is quite a number of things have been said around how the availability of gas in the southeast will help things. I have my views about how that has challenged production in Nigeria, particularly in the southeast. And I would like to know, is there anything in the works that is going to solve that problem? Is the federal government seeing that as a challenge, as one of the key challenges they need to tackle as a way of dealing with the challenge of opening up the productive capacity of Nigeria? Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Your Excellency, I've been told that EEDC would make a very short comment or question, and that will most definitely be the last. Please proceed, sir.
Your Excellencies, please permit me to stand on the established protocol. My name is Kester Enwerodo. I'm a director of EEDC. The initiative we come here today is actually anchored on the ability of EEDC to take in the power that is going to be generated by NDPHC. So it became necessary for us to voice out some of the constraints we have and an ability to be able to match what NDPHC is trying to provide to our people. There are 3 issues I'm going to highlight on. The first one is the constraint we have on transmission. Today, no matter why we have the Aloji power plant, which has capacity of generating 1,000 megawatts, only taking out less than 200 megawatts is the issue of transmission. Meanwhile, we here in Southeast, all we get is less than 300 megawatts. Meanwhile, we have a power plant next to us that has stranded 800 megawatts that has not been taken. I'll give you an example, Your Excellency. In Imo State, a population of 5-6 million people, we have only 1 transmission station, just 1 for the whole of the state. So it makes it impossible. Even if you bring in power into Ebu substation today, it becomes impossible for EEDC to wheel that power to the different parts of the state, far-flung like Olo, like Okigwe, and the rest of them, all drawing from from Ebu substation. So we will advise that we sit down with NDPHC and TCN and look at how to optimize the transmission network they have here. On our own part, we have taken that initiative to even try to do what we call a high voltage distribution network to be able to link some of the power points, which I believe in collaboration with NDPHC, we'll be having that discussion with them. It will be a faster way of delivering this. That's number one, Your Excellency. Number two is what we call an operation. Yeah. Number two is a serious problem we are having as the EADC, which has made it difficult for us to serve our people. And I would say, it's actually our issue. It doesn't cut across all the other discos. In Abara, where you commissioned the first light of Lagos, they have, Eco Disco has an ATC&C of about 25%. And it's important. It's important, please. Right. So what I'm trying to, where I'm landing is, as of today, EADC is working on 25% ATC&C loss level. That's what the regulator has given to us. While in actual fact, the ATC&C gap is about 42%. What you're talking about here is a gap of over 100 billion naira. So what we are saying in essence is that EADC should subsidize 100 billion naira for the market. You and me know that it's impossible for them to do that. And like the Honorable Minister mentioned in his address earlier, he stated that we haven't been able to move from 4,000 to a higher capacity all this while. For just one reason. Everything we are doing is based on wrong assumptions. And all of us, good enough, I could see at the panel, they're all private sector people. You know, if you work from a wrong assumption, there's nothing you would do that will enable you to arrive at a proper destination. So at the moment, we have ATC&C shortfall of over 18%, amounting to over 100 billion naira. If that is not addressed, it will be difficult for EADC to be able to generate enough resources to be able to complement NDPHC in implementing this project. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll hand over now to His Excellency. Thank you, sir.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, let me start with Kester's comments. You are our partner in repositioning the power sector in the Southeast. And as Governor Soludo rightly said, we are here to find solutions, not a forum for lamentations. Certainly, I can assure you that the Niger Delta Power Holding Company and EEDC will sit down, cross-pollinate their ideas, and come up with robust solutions to all the challenges confronting us. And incidentally, Skipper is here, one of our partners in Agbara. So be rest assured that all the issues that are agitating your mind will be promptly addressed in the fullness of time. And Kingsley Eve, one of our new entrants into the manufacturing sector, made mention of when are we going to take up. The MD of Niger Delta Power Holding Company has given us his word that this project will see the light of the day in 4 months. This is why we are leaving them behind. The management of Niger Delta Power Holding Company will stay and draw a roadmap with the EEDC and other partners towards actualizing our dream. Mr. Ipianyu Okoye's complaint about custom, this is not actually a forum for discussing tariff issues. But the CG of custom has listened to you, and be rest assured that he is going to address the issues you have raised. He actually inherited a huge burden, and he cannot cleanse up the audience table within 3 or 4 months. There are challenges there, and he is a professional. For the first time in nearly a decade, a professional customs person is running the show, and all the issues you have addressed will be looked into. And dry port solution, IMO is currently building a dry port. I think we have to explore the issue of dry ports, especially in the southeast, which is the industrial hub of the nation. You are even building a river port beyond the seaport. That's great, congratulations. Henry Mbadiwe, well, you advertise your skills, and your skills are very much needed. Ambassador Nwosu was talking about procuring locally made products. We are willing to procure locally made products. But if the products that are locally made cannot meet our expectations, the world has become a global market square. We cannot restrict ourselves to the local market. If we can get it in China, so be it. If we can get it in India, it's okay. But prominence will certainly be given to our local producers. My schoolmate, he was 1 year ahead of me at Government Community Secondary School, Balarabe Abdullah. He is trying to steal the hornet's nest. This is not a forum for us to be trading blames and accusations. It's the appropriate time. This is a forum for lighting of the Southeast. You are a very rich man, come and contribute toward lighting of the Southeast. Talking about 16 billion, 8 billion is beyond us to discuss at this forum. The chairman of SINMAX, I met with President Xi Jinping in Beijing, and he was generous enough to approve a lot of projects for Nigeria. We'll keep that conversation going and see to it that we have mutually beneficial relationship between our two nations. For the chairman of Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, she was actually foreign and coming on us and was not making any specific demand. Thank you for your trust and confidence, and be rest assured that we won't fail you. The Controller General of Customs equally lamented about custom, but we said, Governor Soludo said this is a forum for finding solutions. So the CG of Custom was actually listening with rapt attention during your submission, and he will attend to your complaints. The Vice Chancellor of our new university, let me give the platform to the Minister of Power to respond to your request. And of course, the MD of Niger Delta Power Holding Company should also capture your needs.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. I think I have just about 2 or 3 items that I want to respond to here. The first had to do with the gentleman that spoke about having an independent entity to handle the issue of power in Nigeria. As it is, since the privatization of the sector in 2013, it has been fully unbundled, and each of the segments in the value chain is in the hands of independent entities. What government is doing, apart from the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, that is directly under the custody of the federal government, what we are doing to support other segments is to provide support. For example, the issue of generation today. Majority of the generation companies are private sector, apart from the Niger Delta Power Holding Company, which is the offshoot of the investment of about $8 billion in NIPP projects. Together, they have a combined capacity of almost 4,000 to 5,000 megawatts, which they can actually generate today. But the issue is we are not really optimizing that capacity. They are still producing less than 600 megawatts out of an installed capacity of 5,000 megawatts today. Since we are talking about solution, what we are trying to do now is to make sure that we upgrade their capacity to ensure that they are producing at very, very respectable capacity level. And the issue they have now is the issue of gas. Once we resolve the issue of gas and they have adequate supply of gas, they will produce at a reasonable capacity. Then the issue of transmission, which is directly under us. There is the Presidential Power Initiatives, the PPI project. We all know the Siemens projects. And at the last COP28 in Dubai, the acceleration agreement was signed with the German government and Siemens Energy. I can tell you that we are putting everything in place to ensure that we speed up this project to resolve all the capacity issues that we have with the transmission grid nationally. And that is working. We are done with the pilot phase of the project. We have received 10 mobile substations. We have received 10 transformers. And all these are being installed and commissioned. Very soon, we'll start seeing this positive impact on our transmission grid. Then, still on generation, I'm also happy to inform you that the federal government has completed the construction of a 700 megawatt hydropower plant in Zungeru, and it's been concessioned. The process has been completed. In the next 1 or 2 weeks, they will start generation. That will be an addition of 700 megawatts to our national grid. Then on distribution, it is now in the hands of the private sector. But they need a lot of investment to be done in that segment to improve infrastructure so that we can reduce those technical losses. Once the transformers are fine, the electric poles are fine, the power cables are fine, we'll be able to, and injections and substations are fine, we're able to deliver this power to the people. And the meter gap that we have, since we are talking about solution, there are lots and lots of initiatives that are going on now to ensure we reduce the meter gap. Out of our 12 million electricity customers that we have today, less than 6 million is metered. We have the meter gap of almost 8 million households and businesses not metered. So we are working on that, and there's a presidential metering initiative, PMI, that is harmonizing all the meter projects. And very soon we'll start seeing impact of this. On the school, we have what we call energizing education under our rural electrification projects. I will advise the gentleman that raised the issue about the school to write us in the Ministry of Power, because we are making direct intervention into all these unserved or underserved areas through our rural electrification agency. And there is a very generous budget for this year, which we promise we are going to spend to ensure that we take a lot of those areas or communities out of energy poverty. So you can write us formally on that. Then lastly, it's on the issue of transmission substations, which the EEDC director raised. While I was talking the other time, I raised the issue of a number of completed substations which we were not able to energize due to the fact that those transmission lines are not yet completed because of the issues of right of way. Once we are able to complete this, resolve this issue of right of way with the support of our governors, which they have promised here, I believe a number of these will be completed. And we have identified those areas where you have evacuation problems. When you get power, how do you move it out of the substations to the distribution? We have pointed them out, and they have been addressed under the Presidential Power Initiatives, PPI. They are part of the map of the Siemens project that we are going to address, and that is being given proper attention by Mr. President. Very soon we'll start seeing the impact of all this. Like our host governor of Imo State mentioned, all these things require time. It's a little patience that we are asking for. Problems of 45, 50 years, it is not practically possible that they will actually, disappear in 6 months. But what we have promised is gradual but consistent and most times accelerated improvements in our power supply. I will get there, inshallah. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Just to quickly add two things. We are in terms of substations. You talked about Kesta. We've had working with the governor, His Excellency the Governor of Imo State. We're expanding Ebu Station. NDPC is doing that directly. I've just been speaking with His Excellency the Governor of Anambra State. You know, we've been doing Ihiala substation, and again, that's part of the gathering, so that they will provide us the needed support. Ihiala, we plan to we finished on Olu substation, but the source from Ihiala to Olu, is right of way, which the Honorable Minister mentioned. Again, their excellencies have agreed to help us. I've met His Excellency the Governor of Imo State is helping us with the right of way on that. So a lot of work is being done. And like His Excellency the Vice President said, this is operational issues we sit down together and resolve. Just to assure the business community here, why we gathered you is we want to unlock our generation, like the Honorable Minister said, that is stranded. And we know you need this power. We have called you here to say, look, you need this power, we are ready to supply you. We are working with our private sector partner who will aggregate all the needs. We carry out the engineering survey. We provide the last mile solution, and working with the transmission company will serve you. That's the whole idea. And once you sign up to working with us, to buying the power from us, we ensure that we meter you, we ensure that we provide all these facilities. That's what this is all about. In addition to what the Honorable Minister said about the university, we will also check to see the possibility of supplying you. So please work with us. We are determined. We are very determined to serve you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that will be a wrap. Your Excellency, the Vice President, Your Excellencies, the Governors, and every other esteemed member of this table, and all of you, thank you all so much. Thank you, sirs.
Please, shall we have the national anthem, please? Lunch for everybody, but in case you still need more clarification, our NATO will be here to get some of your questions. We'll allow him to go